watching the MAC on ESPN. It is time to inject a little MACtion into your veins here in week 4. It is family weekend here at Western Michigan, so fuel up with an omelet or two. Yeah, extra cheese. Western Michigan and Toledo in the MAC conference opener for both schools. Western Michigan at 0-3, taking their shot against the preseason pick to win the MAC this year. And hi there and welcome inside Waldo Stadium along with the former Michigan All-American and national champion Marcus Ray. I'm Ted Emmerich. Marcus, let's start with Toledo. The preseason favorite
Toledo
in the
has
MAC,
won the toss.
and for good reason. They returned so many key
half.
players from a year ago. You've said it before, you don't see a group of 5 team when you look at the Rockets.
No, I think they have a power forward roster when you look at their size and speed and skill. But Jason Kendall has done a fine job in his tenure, 2 MAC titles. When you don't lose a player in the portal in this era, it speaks for itself. That's why they have so many returning guys. Look at their first 3 games. Against Kentucky, that was a winnable game, and he felt like he left a lot of meat on the bone. But this young man here is out there eating. Chip, train him. He's been everywhere, he's done everything. He's downhill, and you see his numbers. 4 rush TD, leads the conference. And then this young man here, everything starts with Tucker Gleason. He hasn't played that much in the last game and a half, but he's very accurate. He's still putting up big numbers, and they are an explosive offense, and he's making all the right throws.
And as for Western Michigan, yes, they're 0-3, a little context. They have faced a brutal schedule, 2 Big Ten opponents, and you were here 2 weeks ago when they had North Texas beat.
Yeah, they actually did it. They played well in the second half against Michigan State. North Texas, I think they gave that one away, but they've been playing 2 quarterbacks. Now they've settled on a starter. This young man starting his first game, Brock Lowry, very good athlete. Did a little better in the passing game last week, but everything really starts and stops with this young man, Jalen Buckley. Career numbers the last 3 years. He's a downhill runner. Had the flu last week. That's why you didn't see him much. Expect a lot of Jalen today.
That is the recipe for Western Michigan. Lance Taylor, their head coach in his 3rd year, told us yesterday, the morale, the energy is still high. I mean, is he going to say anything different? But he did stress to his team, listen, the season really starts now. 0-3, forget it. 0-0, MAC play is all that matters.
You know what, Ted, you're exactly right. I mean, this does start. Conference championships is what everyone wants. They could have won the first 3, and if they dropped this one, then it wouldn't matter. Want to start, but after 3 or 4 games, when you come out there, you want to find out who you are as a team.
Well, Toledo won the toss and deferred, so Western Michigan with the ball first, and Brock Lowry is ready for his first career start. The redshirt sophomore from Canfield, Ohio, the transfer from Indiana. The competition that played out through the early part of this season is over. They're going with Lowry over Brady Jones.
Well, I think he gives them what they want as far as the run game. Brady actually played well, too. Offensive line probably didn't help him early on, as Lance Taylor told us. But this young man is completing 50% of his passes, 56. But they like quarterback run with him.
And they love running back run with Jalen Buckley, who picks up 5 yards on the first play. He's feeling much better than he did last week. Marcus had only 6 carries in that loss to Illinois. And the coaches told us last night, really, he was sick, and they held him back.
Yeah, it's unfortunate when you get sick and one of your best players who's a downhill runner. He's a game changer. I mean, when you look at his size, 5'11", 210, he can do it all.
I mean, they might hand it to him 6 times on this first drive if they pick up a few first downs. Buckley picks up only a yard this time to bring up 3rd and 4.
I'm interested to see how this big physical line of Western Michigan, they're a little young, but at the same time, how they match up with Toledo's front 7. I mean, obviously they've been putting up big numbers. They're turning the ball over on defense, and they're leading the conference in scoring defense. So can Western Michigan successfully run the football, finish drives, and keep Toledo's high-powered offense off the field? And
can they convert on 3rd down? That has been an issue in their 3 losses to start the season. Lowry on the move on 3rd and 4. And the catch is made for the first down. Pulled in by Balin Brooks, the San Diego State transfer. He picks up 5.
Balin Brooks was a guy in the first game who made some big plays. You see sprint out pass here. See, this is a safe call here for Brock Lowry on his first throw. It's when you're a play caller, you have to call to your player's strengths, and you have to attack the defense a certain way. And when you get him on the run, if that play wasn't open, he could have took off running, and that's what he does.
And it's back to this diamond formation with 3 backs alongside Lowry. And here's Devin Miles on the sweep, and Miles is cut down in the backfield. Dropped by Braden Alls, the junior safety. It's a loss of 3.
Braden Alls, Toledo Central Catholic's own. Watch how he fits this run. He avoids a block. He's the support player. He's the force player, which means he has to turn the ball back inside. He avoids the block, makes the tackle. Very productive guy. He can cover. He communicates. He's one of the best players in that secondary.
Now, I love what defensive coordinator Vince Karras calls him. He says he's the sheriff. He's the one who wears the green dot. Trick play on the reverse. Talik Williams, who's been quiet the last 2 weeks, and Williams barely makes it to the line of scrimmage, if that. Toledo sniffing out the trickery with Anthony Dunn.
Well, Anthony Dunn wasn't fooled there. Watch these defensive linemen stay home, maintain gap integrity. And Williams tried to make something out of nothing, but that's just good disciplined defense. I mean, there's a reason Toledo is only giving up 15 points a game, created 5 turnovers in 3 games. When you play with good eye discipline and you stay home and get teams behind the sticks like 3rd and 13, then you'll get off the field.
And Western Michigan knows, with Lowry at quarterback, they can't afford to be in this situation often. Here's 3rd and 13, and the pass is broken up, intended for Malik Dudon. Avery Smith, Toledo's top corner, bats it away.
You know what I like about Avery Smith? What he did was he played the sticks. So he understood in off coverage, they only need 13. So he wasn't worried about a deep ball or anything going behind him. He stayed in his technique, stayed square, and got the pass break.
Ryan Milmore on to punt. And a flag down. Motion.
False start. Kicking team, number 1, 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So that backs up Milmore. Bryson Hammer, the All-MAC return man from a year ago, awaits the kick. Oh, and Milmore just got that off. No flag on the play, by the way. And Western Michigan downs it at the 25, a 47-yard punt. Yeah, fans are unhappy here, but
there's no for roughing the kicker because the ball was tipped.
That's why. There was no reason for the penalty, and you see why.
Yeah, when you see the referees making it rain with their hands, if you will, when they palm down and they're throwing money. Well, if you look there, though, as long as you get a piece of that football, everybody's live. And that's why he stood up and put his hand up to let everybody know, I got a piece of that one. Good call by the official.
I'm used to doing
the
that signal.
On the field is a kick. The ball was touched by a member of the receiving team. That play is under further review.
Well, I guess they'll take a closer look at it. Dylan Holer was the one who got a piece of it. But, yeah, you're describing that signal. I'm used to giving that signal in a very different setting than a football field, Marcus. I don't know if you agree with me.
I got you. Me too, buddy.
So let's take another look.
So you'll see, you normally want to get your hands a little bit lower, but because he got a piece of it.
And listen, there's obvious contact with Milmore, the punter. You can see why Western Michigan fans were crowing there. But did Holer get a piece of the ball?
You know, that's an interesting call because in real time, human eye, you can call it either way because it just doesn't look like he got any piece of that ball. But when you look a little bit closer, it really looks like he didn't get a piece of the ball, but there's still a no call.
Right, and it's hard to overturn that. Is there clear and obvious evidence to indicate there is enough to say that, no, he did not actually get a piece of it?
That's a fair question. And I think that's why a lot of times in this case, officials will throw it. Because if they're not right, then it's no harm, no foul. But if they're right, it stands. But you have to make the call. So because they didn't call that, I mean, can you prove that he actually really did touch that ball there? You can't.
It's really hard. It's really, I think it's very hard to overturn this. And as a result, assess a penalty.
Exactly. That's a good point.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. 1st down, Toledo.
Again, some of the new language this season, upheld. It's not like they're looking to confirm it. It's upheld. Not enough to overturn it, and Jason Candle's offense is on the field for the first time today.
I like that new language change, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
It simplifies it. Tucker Gleason, the sixth-year senior at quarterback. And giving to Chip Trainum, who has delivered on the hype so far. Gains only a yard there, the transfer from Kentucky. But Gleason, he hasn't played a full game since week 1. He injured his knee against Western Kentucky. He played last week, then lifted in the first half of that blowout against Morgan State.
Yeah, and still at the top of the charts in statistics. 600 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. But when you let your backups get in, even though he wasn't in there, it just builds more depth.
Trainum finding a crease across the 30-yard line to set up 3rd down and 3.
Trainum is a downhill guy. We saw him hit the home run last week or so, and with the big run and touchdown. He's done it all. He played linebacker at Ohio State. I mean, he played running back and linebacker in the same season. So, I mean, this guy, I remember watching him in high school. So 3rd down, look at that. Toledo leads the MAC on offensive 3rd downs too.
Western brings the blitz, and Gleason beats it with the pass to his top target, Junior Vander Ross III. Man, is he shaping up to have a monster season this year.
I like the call because it was just a speed out. It's a 5-yard out, and to your point, Vander Ross
now he's down. You saw him get up
Timeout
gingerly too,
on
Marcus.
injury to a player on offense.
But when you lead the conference in 3rd downs, it's because you're in short yardage.
We'll step aside.
Lance Taylor wants a street fight, and if it gets to that, look at this young man's numbers on the year. Trained him 39 rushes, coming into it 248, 6.5 per carry.
His first 5 years were at power conference schools, from Arizona State to Ohio State to Kentucky, but he's never been the guy like he is this year with Toledo. Gleason with play action. And Gleason finds the safety valve in Trainum. And he's got the 1st down near the 33.
Well, that's the thing about Gleason and this offensive line. If you watch Toledo play, he extends plays, keeps his eyes downfield. He went through his entire progression and still found a way to get it to Trainum as a playmaker to get the 1st down.
And now Trainum gets the breather. Kenji Christian, the transfer from North Carolina A&T, steps in. And Christian picks up 4 yards on his first carry. He complements Trainum well, a very different kind of back.
Yeah, it makes me think of like thunder and lightning. He's the lightning, Trainum is the thunder. Good tackle there by Sims and company, but Toledo's winning on 1st down. If you get 4 yards on 1st down, it makes your life a little more difficult on defense on 2nd and forward.
Christian motions out. And the screen for Junior Vander Ross, who's right back on the field. Guess he's okay. Vander Ross picks up a few inside the 30-yard line, set up 3rd down.
Yeah, a nice little smoke pass or a now screen, whatever you want to call it. Just another way to get the ball into a playmaker's hand in space without having to put pressure on your offensive line. It's a glorified run play.
Now it's 3rd and 5. Toledo, the best 3rd down team in the MAC so far this year at 44%. They run it with Christian. And Christian is stopped 2 yards short, but this could still very well be go-for-it territory for Toledo.
Number 10 for Toledo must sit one play because his helmet came off without a foul.
Now listen, Toledo could use the timeout to get him back in, but they'll get Chip Trainum back on the field here for 4th and 2.
That was an interesting call to go with the wide zone to the weak side, especially, but knowing that they were going to go for it on 4th and 2, that's a very manageable situation. I thought Toledo would throw the ball like a speed out again like they did. But nevertheless, it was a good call because they were going to go for it anyways.
On 4th and 2, here's the pass. And Gleason's throw is pulled in by Connor Jones. What a grab. Man, that looked like it was going to sail over his head, but Jones at 6'2" reached up for it.
You know I'm from Columbus, man. This young man is from Hilliard. That's the west side of Columbus. Watch the grab. Extended his body, hand-eye coordination. Might take a look at that, see if it hit the ground, but I'll tell you what, that was a great grab in a crucial situation by that young man.
Jones' second catch of the year. His first was a touchdown against Western Kentucky a couple of weeks ago. So now first down at the 21 here on Toledo's first offensive series. Gleason's pass is batted down at the line.
You see James Camden right there. I mean, when you think about this Western Michigan defense, they got some dudes. That's good coverage there, but the big fella Marcel Tyler got his hand up. 91 to get in the way of a throwing lane, but they've got some athletes defensively, and they have held their own in a lot of situations.
The 12th play of the drive for the Rockets. Trainum looking for daylight, and he squeezes ahead for about a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 9 for Toledo.
Made by number 99, McGraw.
That's a nice play right there by Western Michigan's defense. Big McGraw, 99, big rockin' Rodney McGraw. This guy's 6'6", 265. He's hard to move. Been playing well, too. In a rotational position. 2.5 sacks on the season as well.
You see Chris O'Leary in his first year as a defensive play caller, former safeties coach with the Chargers. Before that with Notre Dame.
You just left Michigan out of his whole resume, Ted. That's okay.
3rd and 9. I guess I can't do that with you here. And Gleason's pass is bobbled but intercepted. Taken away by Western Michigan. Joey Pope with his first career pick. What a stand for the Broncos.
That's big time. Look at how they celebrate with the turnover hat. How about it, Cowboy? I tell you what, that young man right there, former walk-on Joey Pope.
Timeout.
Big play, guys.
Media.
A promising drive for Toledo ends with a takeaway by Western Michigan. And the Broncos have it back.
What you're going to see, like with the play action game here, when you watch Brock Lowry, there's going to be sprint out, play action. They want to get him on the move, out of the pocket, so in the event he can run. And then they don't want to let Toledo's defenders just have a straight shot at him as well.
And Walt Bell, their offensive coordinator, said we need 8 of those 15-yard plays. That is the baseline today. There's number 1. Off the play fake. Lowry looking for another big play. And this is tipped and intercepted by Toledo. Andre Fuller with his first pick as a Rocket and first in 4 years. Toledo takes it right back.
I tell you what, that was a great
Ruling on the
play
field is an interception. First down and 10, Toledo.
by Andre
Timeout.
Fuller. What a great read.
Media.
Good coverage.
It's only the 2nd turnover by Western Michigan's offense this year. Comes right after they had come up with a takeaway of their own. Scoreless here in Kalamazoo, the MAC opener for Western Michigan and Toledo. Andre Fuller with his first pick since he was with Arkansas Pine Bluff back in 2021. So Toledo has it right back. You know, Marcus, you asked Lance Taylor, Western Michigan's head coach, yesterday, do you want this game to be a street fight or a track meet against Toledo's high-flying offense? He said, oh, we want a street fight.
Yeah, you want to go toe-to-toe and get in the phone booth, because if this game stays around the 20s, I think it favors Western Michigan. When you start getting into a foot race with Toledo, they've outscored a lot of people.
Gleason to the air, and that pass is caught by Trayvon Rudolph, the Northern Illinois transfer, who's been quiet the first 3 games. He picks up 7 yards.
It's a safe throw there for Gleason, and good pick up there. First down.
And Toledo goes up-tempo. Gleason on the keeper. He's got the first down, and he muscles inside the 35.
See, what you're going to see is Toledo's taking a page out of Illinois' playbook. Last week, Illinois went tempo. And what that does is they call multiple plays at a time. They don't allow the defense to get lined up. And they're ready to go every 15 seconds the ball is snapped. Western struggled with that the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Chris O'Leary admitted to us last night that was really a problem for them, as Trainum picks up 5 yards on first down. I mean, they were in the game there in Champaign. It was 10-0 at halftime. Western Michigan down, but you're right, Illinois then sped up the pace, and that really affected Western's defense.
Yeah, and it could have been 10-10. You miss a field goal, you have a goal line stand, you know, first and goal, you get 4 shots at it, no points. So Western was right there, and then Illinois switched it up, and they came out with some tempo. We'll see that from Toledo.
Gleason has time, airs it out for Vandeross. Too much on it, incomplete. Flag down in the backfield.
Well, one of the things we also asked both coaches is, hey, how do you like to match up front? You know, Western Michigan is a havoc defense.
Holding. Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That's Colrett, the right tackle, a returning starter.
Yeah, Big Cole and Watterson, probably the best football program in Ohio. Division III state champion, 16-0. Colrett from Columbus, man, one of those guys.
You know all about Columbus.
I know all about it, man, a little too much.
So 2nd and 15, blitzer off the edge, and Gleason is buried. Never saw Joshua Franklin. The nickelback drops Gleason for a loss of 7.
I like the call there. You'll see him coming from the right side of your screen underneath Colrett. So Colrett got hit with the penalty, then he had a bust in pass protection. Watch to the right of your screen. You see Big Cole got a little too far outside his frame and his body. Franklin went underneath with the dipsy-do, ripperoo, and made the sack.
Now 3rd and 22, and Toledo just puts it on the ground here with Chip Trainin. Picks up a yard, and it's 4th down. I like your name for the move by Joshua Franklin. I mean, he used to be a receiver. It's kind of like the release off the line of scrimmage. Now he's a corner and putting the moves on a tackle.
Yeah, you got to watch those guys in space, man, because as a former defensive back, I'll tell you, you just don't want those big guys getting their hands on you. So you have to move around and twist and turn and get skinny.
Kevin Boone Nelson ready for the punt from Emilio Duran. A great punt by Duran as Boone Nelson forced to call for the fair catch there near the 5. You know, if you're Kevin Boone Nelson, you also wonder, why don't you just let the ball bounce and hopefully it goes in the end zone, but guess he didn't want to take that chance.
Yeah, you know, it's a judgment call, and I've seen guys run to the other side of the field to act like they were going to field it just to get people to distract them. But I've seen more and more guys field the ball inside the 10, but I think it's a trend because the level of athleticism is getting better, though, Ted, and guys are spotting that ball at the 1-yard line. They are getting there, even if it bounces. They are starting to get down the field and cover better.
There was a play in the Tennessee-Georgia game a couple of weeks back, in fact, where Somebody for Tennessee saved it from going into the end zone. Here's Buckley to start this drive for Western Michigan. Picks up 3 yards.
You see Andre Fuller, man, he's having a day. I mean, he just came up on run support right there, made the tackle. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He's long, rangy, athletic. Saw the coverage skills making the interception. Tip your cap right now to Western Michigan. I think in this street fight, it's favoring them right now because their defense is playing lights out.
Both teams have thrown an interception. Both teams have punted, and contact up front before the snap. Doran Ray is like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Come on, Ray Jr. So Ray Jr. jumps off.
Offside with contact. Defense, number 55, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Man, John Hofer looked like he was getting ready for WrestlePalooza tonight on the ESPN app. Just a flat back bump.
Yeah, you gotta watch that flopping, man. You can't. They were going to call it. He didn't have to flop, man.
That was awesome. 2nd and 2 after the penalty on Ray. And Toledo gums things up. That's close to the line to gain. Anthony Dunn in there on the tackle against Buckley.
Anthony Dunn is a guy that has taken a lot of strides since the spring. They spoke highly of him on our call. 6'4", 262. He plays an outside backer, but he can rush the passer, drops in coverage, and he makes tackles in space.
He's doing the dirty work now, Toledo coaches say. That'll be the final play of the first quarter. Western Michigan has 3rd and less than a yard on the other side. A scoreless first quarter here in Kalamazoo. Each team has turned it over. Western Michigan hoping to continue this drive on the other side
of the first quarter.
First, you'll need the ESPN app on your connected TV or favorite device. If you have it, open it up. If you don't, download it now. Next, click on the live event or ESPN show you want to watch. Then choose your TV provider and log in. You're all set. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. Go to support.espn.com to learn more.
To start the second quarter here in Kalamazoo, Ted Emmerich, Marcus Ray, our entire crew. Vince Karras, Toledo's defensive coordinator, hoping his unit has a stop here on 3rd and short, but it's a first down for Western Michigan as Jalen Buckley takes it to the 20. Scoreless at the end of one, and this drive continues for Western Michigan.
Yeah, there's Vince, man. He's had that Mount Union connection with Coach Candle. You know, Coach Candle's been able to keep his coordinators around for a long time. One of the longest tenured programs that have kept coordinators. Vince, one of my guys, man. I've been knowing him for a long time, calling his games. His son plays up there in Northwest Ohio, too.
Lowry off the play fake, looking for Buckley in the flat. Oh, and Buckley slipped. Went down. Big loss on the play, back to the 13. He lost 7 yards.
Yeah, something about that screenplay just wasn't clean. Like the timing and rhythm of it wasn't there. A successful screenplay, which is kind of obvious in long yardage situations. But when those defensive linemen recognize their linemen downfield and they're unblocked, they're going to retrace and make that tackle.
So now Buckley on the sideline. Devin Miles checks back in. And Lowry on the keeper. You know, Lowry brings that dual threat element, limited to a yard here. Walt Bell, his offensive coordinator, told us he really thinks that Brock Lowry can be like a quarterback Bell had at Maryland, Tyrell Pigram, guy who can run for 75 to 100 yards a game.
Yeah, as you see, we'll take a look at Walt Bell there. I mean, I remember covering Pigram on another network and years ago, and he did have that dual threat explosiveness. He could throw it. When you have a guy like that, if you call the right plays, they're hard to defend.
On 3rd and 16, Western Michigan runs it with Devin Miles. And he picks up 4 yards to give.
Number 5 for Western Michigan must sit one play because his helmet came off without a foul.
And he's coming off anyway with Ryan Milmore now with a little more room on 4th down to punt.
I think that's a good stand there for Toledo. You know, I think Western needs to score first. I think they need to get up on the cards against Toledo. It just boosts their confidence being that they're 0-3.
Hammer tracking it at the 30. Bryson Hammer steps out of a tackle. And so Hammer creates something out of nothing there. An 11-yard return after the 52-yard punt to give Toledo better field position in a scoreless game here in Kalamazoo.
When you do, it's like, whoa.
Christian twirls to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and a couple. Yeah, Jason Candle offered Christian coming out of high school. Again, like you said, went to Virginia Tech, took that offer, but has made his way to Jason Candle eventually.
I think we're seeing more of that when you look at the transfer portal. Guys that end up certain places, they got recruited first. And so they're like giving these kids a second chance. As you look at our 3rd down offense today for Toledo hasn't been very good. Average 9.5. That means they're not winning on 1st and 2nd down.
And Trainum, the sledgehammer, is back in there. Play clock running down. And they got to call a timeout. Boy, Vandeross went in motion late. You saw Tucker Gleason motioning for him.
Their first charge timeout.
And they have to burn their first timeout. 3rd and 2 for Toledo after this. Toledo staring at a 3rd and 2 coming out of the timeout. They had to burn a timeout with the play clock about to expire. There was a TV timeout on top of that, so Jason Candle had a while to think about this play call.
Yeah, and I think because he's the play caller, it gives him a chance to really go through his 3rd down and short play roster or play sheet in this area of the field, and I'm quite sure he's called a different play than he would have called before that TV timeout. But we'll see what Toledo comes up with. Remember, they're a 4-down kind of team in this area, especially with the success they have on defense.
Toledo's 1 of 4 on 3rd down, but you saw that with 4 yards or fewer, they've had one of those opportunities today, and they converted it. Here's 3rd and 2. Gleason might be changing the play. Give it to Trainum. And he dives ahead to the line to gain at the 28.
Yeah, Toledo really likes that off-tackle. Old school football calls it off-tackle. New school calls it the wide zone. But it stretches the defense and it creates run lanes naturally with the blocking scheme. And he was able to find a seam and just get the 2 yards he needed.
Toledo has been in Western Michigan territory each of their first 3 drives now. Didn't come up with points on the first 2. Gleason to the perimeter. Caught by Terrell Crosby Jr. and out of bounds just shy of the 20. Gain of 7.
That was a good call there to be able to get the ball on the perimeter away from the entire defense. You saw the big fella Kershawn Fisher making his way downfield to make that tackle.
Now an empty set for Gleason, and Trainum motions in alongside. Trainum, the sidestep. And another first down for Toledo inside the red zone.
I don't think Western Michigan minds Toledo running the ball. Like, they want to shorten the game. They don't want Toledo to get up and rip and run and fun and gun. They want to play this style. Low scoring, few possessions, field position. So I don't think Western, even if they give up a field goal here, I don't think they mind Toledo running the football and not trying to go vertical and get a bunch of points.
Back to Trainum. And inside the 15 for 2 more yards. You know, Jason Candle told us, Marcus, sometimes you wonder about a player with Trainum's profile, his 4th school in 6 years. It's not usually the kind of player they recruit, but he was voted a captain by his teammates. He hasn't talked about, oh, back when I was at Ohio State, back when I was at Kentucky. He's been all in with Toledo.
Well, that speaks to his character, being a great teammate, being mature, and understanding his opportunity, because nobody cares what you did before you got here.
Now Trainum stacked up. And it's 3rd down again for Toledo. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Western Michigan, though, understand this. In the red zone, they've given up a lot of touchdowns defensively. 12 of them, as a matter of fact.
Out of 16 red zone trips against their first 3 opponents.
So to hold them to a field goal attempt will be a win for the defense.
Toledo needs 7. Gleason with time. Oh, and a leaping interception. Taken away again by Western Michigan. John Peters, the true freshman, is about to put on the hat for the Broncos.
That was a big-time interception. Well, I mean, if you can see here his footwork, he reads the quarterback. But look at Gleason. He's locked on the entire time. He threw a floater out there. Lowry popped it up in the air, and the young freshman got his foot in the ground and broke on the ball. It doesn't look like Gleason got all of that throw in there. Just kind of threw a duck, threw it off his back foot, all the way to the sideline. That's a good break by Peters.
So once again, Western Michigan bowing its neck defensively in the red zone. Another takeaway, and from another young defensive back, this time John Peters with his first career pick. Lowry to the edge. And the pass is caught by Malik Dudon. A 7-yard pickup on first down. Western Michigan could certainly use that. They've had trouble on first down so far today.
Yeah, I like the call, too. That's a short, safe throw to the boundary or the short side of the field. It's a pre-snap read. And I think those are the type of throws that will get Brock Lowry's confidence going and get him in a rhythm.
Lolo Mataeli is the setback now. And Mataeli with his first carry. He was Western Michigan's leading rusher last week against Illinois with Buckley sick. Downhill runner, much like Buckley.
Yeah, I think they're going to need him to really play football and add some depth. Give him some firepower for Buckley. They're going to need both of these guys going forward. They're going to win a conference championship. But one of the things Jason Kendall said that I thought was interesting, that it's tough to win a road conference game. And it just is. At any conference, at any level, going away from home and a conference opponent, it's always hard to win in somebody's house.
He said they almost count for two. Just how difficult they are and the pride you feel if you do come out on top. Lowry airs it out to the bench. Might have been tipped there. The only receiver in the vicinity was Terrence Marshall.
Yeah, that's good coverage there. Obviously, Brock threw the ball out of bounds. We'll take a look and see exactly what happened. You get the 4-man rush off some play action. No, he just threw a bad ball out of bounds. Nobody touched him, didn't tap it.
Maybe just a miscommunication with Marshall there as Lowry dumps it this time to Mataeli, and Toledo with the pursuit just past the 20-yard line. Chris Dapolonia, the first-year starter and a captain for this Toledo defense as a sophomore, making the play.
Yeah, this young man got injured last season. Been very productive this year as coming to the game with 10 tackles, checking a lot of boxes, man. 6'3", 240 in that middle. And play well in space too. But if you watch Western Michigan's offense, their game plan isn't to attack. What they're trying to do is run, play action, boot, sprint out, and get short, safe throws.
Yeah, they need to stay ahead of the sticks. 3rd and 8, a little more challenging for the Broncos right now. Lowry on the sprint out. And the connection is made. Christian Leary pulls it in. It's a first down. Gain of 9.
You know, Western Michigan told us they want more explosive plays. And I think the way you get explosive plays is to execute in the little things and the non-explosive plays. Make them pay here. See, eventually defensive backs will start creeping up, and then you go over their head. You're running the ball 4, 5, 6 yards, then you go over the top. So I like the sequence of play calling right now for Brock Lowry.
Lowry again on the move. Took a shot from Dapolonia, and Lowry airmails it.
Good pressure there from Toledo, and actually good coverage too. The only thing about when you start to handicap yourself with sprint out and play action, the defense will pick up on him. So watch that pressure. See the big fella right there. Apollonia, he was the edge rusher. And what he did, he played the counter, he went to the boot, and that's why he was in the quarterback's face.
Lowry, spinning out of trouble this time, but can't make anything happen. The second effort by Toledo's pass rush getting home. Malachi Davis wrapping him up.
Malachi Davis had 8 tackles against Western Kentucky. He runs to the football. See, right here he had a sack, and he missed it. Should have stayed on his feet. But because the pass rush lane started to collapse and the rest of his teammates stayed where they needed to be, he was able to get off the ground and make that tackle.
So 3rd and even longer now for Western Michigan. They need 13. Lowry dumps it. Makes a man miss. Tariq Williams in the open field. Get into Toledo territory inside the 40-yard line. How about 38 yards on 3rd and 13?
Yeah, they were expecting pressure. This is a great decision by Brock Lowry, understanding 6-man pressure, makes the easy throw. Now watch the, a little 2-step. That in and out. Look at it. See, you can get explosives without going deep. You can throw it to a playmaker and let them tap dance and two-step and with that little 1-2. I used to have that when I played offense, Ted. I had
I'm sure.
I lost it now, but that right there gets you out of trouble.
Oh, you never lost anything, dude. All-American, national champion. Come on. On first down, Lowry puts it in the turf. Trying to set up the screen for Buckley. And Taylor Williams is a guy the coaches said yesterday, we have to get him more involved. Did not catch a pass the last 2 games after he went for 6 grabs for 74 yards against Michigan State in week 1.
Yeah, that was a different kind of game too, man. And it's funny how when you watch Western the first 3 games, they look like 3 different teams. But like Lance Taylor said, they just haven't been able to put 4 quarters together. But I think so far they've put 2 quarters together. Even though they haven't scored, but the offense is in a rhythm. But to hold a team that averages 40 points a game to 0 in the first half of 2 turnovers, that's big time.
Lowry on the delay. And Lowry lunging inside the 30-yard line. Down close to the line to gain. They mark him just short. Picks up 9.
Yeah, here he faked the flare pass and looked, and then they run the quarterback counter to the weak side, and you see he's falling forward. He's not going to slide. He's a tough cookie. He wants to run the football. And anytime you have a guy like that, you have to account for him with another safety in the box. As you look at the plays in opponent territory, Western Michigan just finally getting down there.
Yeah, Toledo has lived on the Western Michigan side of the 50, come up with nothing. Now the Broncos have a big opportunity. Lowry pulls it. Dunn was providing the pressure without a helmet. I beg your pardon, that was Kavion Sherman who lost his helmet.
Number 38
the pass is
for
incomplete.
Toledo must sit one play because his helmet came off without a foul.
Let me explain something to the people. Watch him blitz, blow up Buckley. His helmet comes up. Watch him just kind of get out the way. He didn't hit the quarterback because if he would have kept participating, he would have got a 15-yard personal foul.
Had to pull up there.
Had to pull up. No helmet. Hey, no face, no case.
And now 4th and a yard for Western Michigan, and the offense remains out there here in a scoreless game. Buckley is met in the backfield, and even with the second effort, he stops short. Avery Smith the first to hit him, and Toledo takes over on downs.
Timeout. Media.
Toledo's defense rising up after Western Michigan had put together a long drive, but they come up empty again. Still scoreless near the end of the first half. MAC opener for Toledo and Western Michigan. Broncos just turned it over on downs. What did you think of that play call on 4th and a yard?
I tell you what, when it works, it's a good call. When it doesn't, it's not. And I think Toledo had a better call defensively with the corner blitz there with Smith off the edge. But I'm surprised Western Michigan didn't roll up the sleeves, and just say, I'm running downhill with Buckley. I'm getting a yard. Or at least going for a field goal.
Yeah, or even just take the points. You're in Palmer Domsky's range there. So Toledo takes over at the 27, and Kenji Christian pushes to the 30-yard line for 3 yards. All right, back to 4th down.
Now watch the left of your screen. You're going to see the corner blitz, and there's a missed block there. But I'm just surprised that Lowry probably could have pulled that. But that was great penetration, though, up the middle. And anytime you see offensive linemen in the backfield, it's not a good thing, and I think that's what disrupted his read.
Gleason, pocket crumbling, and he gets rid of it just in time. Marcel Tyler turning up the heat.
This Western Michigan defense, I'm going to tell you what, if they could put 4 quarters together, I mean, when they play, like we saw the defensive line stunt there, you get some pressure there from Tyler, good coverage on the back end. I mean, this team shut out Michigan State in the second half. And one of the things they focused on was eliminating the big plays. They were giving up a ton of big plays, and now when you make a team earn it, life's a lot easier.
Toledo 2 of 6 on 3rd down. Gleason evades and hits his target along the sideline. It's a 1st down. Eric Holly III moves the chains with a pickup of 11.
Tell you what, man, I mean, there's a reason why Gleason's pretty accurate. He's played a lot of football. And watch the experience here. He goes from his left, gets flushed out the pocket, goes to his right, keeps his eyes downfield, and finds his guy. That's a check down route. That's a good throw and catch.
On 1st down, Gleason back to the air, and he throws it away. So, yeah, once again, Western Michigan, which even with the 3 losses to start the year, a hallmark of this Broncos defense has been pressure and creating negative plays. They forced a couple of turnovers, and Tucker Gleason is not comfortable right now.
No, he's not. And I think that schedule Western played did them some favors going into conference play. That's why Lance Taylor's message to his team was the preseason is over. And now you're going to find out who you are in conference play. And they look like a much better football team than they did in the first 3 games.
Approaching the 2-minute timeout here. And Toledo runs it with Trainum. He's got space. And Trainum crossing the 45 to take us to the 2-minute timeout. It'll be 3rd and 5
timeout
for Toledo. No points yet in Kalamazoo. Toledo trying to change that at the end of the half. Hopefully Chip Trainum's all right for Toledo. You are watching the MAC on ESPN, and it is the only dose of MACtion today here in Week 4. Here in Kalamazoo, Toledo, preseason pick to win the league, and Western Michigan. All right, so no touchdowns in the first half. Toledo says just stick the ball in the belly of Chip Trainum.
I think that's a halftime adjustment they made. Like when you watch the first drive coming out of the second half, then an offense will show you their hand. This is what we think we need to go to. And to be able to score like that on the second play, that's a play Jason Kendall drew up. tackle dart. It's just the tackle pulls instead of the guard. And his patience and vision. I mean, he's like, it almost reminds me of the guy from Michigan State, played for the Steelers. They had the running back. Man, he's from Columbus, too. That's terrible.
Boy, you know everything, Columbus. I think on that.
The running back. But anyways, he just had that patience that made you be like, let it go.
Oh, Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon
yes,
Bell.
Of course. Sorry
about that, too. So Le'Veon Bell had that kind of patience where he would just he would stand there with the ball and just let it happen and then go. And that's what that reminded me of.
There were people that were pounding their TV, or if they're watching on their phone, throwing it across the room.
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell, yeah, you talk about patience. Yeah, people have talked about him for years. And yes, the way that play developed, man, 63 yards to the house. So Western Michigan now down 10-0. Brock Lowry making his first career start, unloads, incomplete. Trying to hook up with Tayleek Williams.
But that time, Western came out in their diamond formation, their run look, to get Toledo lined up. Then they shifted to 2-by-2. Ran a slot fade right there. I like the call and design, but I like that coverage better by Avery Smith.
Lowry, for what it's worth, 7 of 15 for 67 yards and an interception today. Buckley hit at the line and driven back. But he still picks up a couple with that second effort. Well done by Buckley to turn that into a positive play.
Yeah, no need to panic for Western Michigan, but I do think they need to get some points here pretty soon. That play, just a zone read. Don't be surprised if and when Brock Lowry pulls the ball and keeps it the next time. You hand it off the first time to see how the defense plays it, and you run it again.
And you see Buckley now taking a seat on the bench and a trainer nearby. Have to monitor that. 3rd and 8. Incomplete. Again, Williams the target. Nasir Bowers had the coverage. So a 3-and-out for Western Michigan.
Yeah, there's something going on. I think a little miscommunication between Lowry and some of the timing of his receivers' routes, because he's throwing it short, expecting them to come back or break off the route, and they're expecting the ball to go up top. So it's just, they have to talk about that and figure out a way to clean that up.
Ryan Milmore kicks it away. Bryson Hammer, the fair catch at the 32. A 40-yard punt by Milmore. And so Toledo with the 2-score lead. The touchdown and the 3-and-out to start the second half. You couldn't have scripted it any better if you were Jason Campbell.
No, you can't. And I think by Western Michigan not kicking a field goal before the half, it didn't give their offense anything like to feel good about. The defense felt great, but the offense didn't have anything to build on. So now they have to create more turnovers to get a shorter field if they can't finish drives.
Back to Trainum. And he lowers the shoulder for a yard or two. Chip is not his given name, Marcus. It's Diamante.
Timeout for an injury to a player of the defense.
And that's Tate Halleck for Western Michigan.
Media, timeout.
The 7th-year senior, boy, just after Tucker and Fisher went down the previous drive, another leader on the Western Michigan defense is down.
Obviously with a pick-6 on the season. He was the young man that was just down, a transfer from Michigan State. Hey, I played safety, and I like the way those two guys play the position.
So Halleck off the field. By the way, Nadane Tucker is back on the field for Western Michigan here to start this drive. Rodney McGraw's on the other side at defensive end, not Kershawn Fisher just yet. The swing to Van Der Ross. He's wrapped up by Joshua Franklin. And a loss on the play. Oh, and there's a flag as well.
It's going to be an interesting call. I think they're going to talk about this one, but that was a great play there by Franklin, probably all the way up to the very end. he defeated the tight end, Jacob Peterson, on that block on the perimeter. If you throw this perimeter screen, you have to have good blocking. At this point right there, the play is pretty much over. Yeah.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 1, 15-yard penalty, first down.
You don't agree with that?
Not really. I mean, it just wasn't that egregious enough for me to call it. He actually threw his hands up towards the end, and they were trying to strip the football. You always want to err on the side of safety, but let's just watch. You'll see Franklin Wright. It just depends on when the whistle was blown. I think that's what we can't hear on the replay.
Yeah, Vanderos ends up on the ground, which affects things. Gleason taking a shot, and incomplete. Rudolph trying to stretch for it. It would have been a 54-yard touchdown.
So you're seeing Toledo open it up a little bit. They figured something out, and what they figured out is that they can play action pass and get behind this defense. See Micah Davis in coverage and safety. Can't let those guys get behind you. Now remember, Tate Halleck is out. So they have to make some changes back there. And what did Jason Candle do? He went up top.
And by the way, Halleck is back on the field now for Western Michigan. Gleason trying to dump it off, and it's batted down. Looked like Mustafi Al-Gharawi got a hand up. Third down.
You know, when these defensive linemen, they can't get to the quarterback, they're taught to put their hands up. And that was a great job because Toledo now is getting more aggressive. They were looking down the field. They want to push it down the field vertically. Nice job getting their hands up by that front four.
So 3rd and 10 for Toledo. They're 4 of 10 on 3rd down today. Vanderos, the motion man. Shovel pass to Christian. And Christian picks up only a couple. And it's 4th down, just trying to stumble through the line there.
I like the call there because Western Michigan was in man-to-man with help over the top. But the defensive lineman just didn't fall for the shovel pass screen. But if you're Toledo, you don't have to take too many risks. You got a 2-score lead. Your defense hasn't given up any points. And now you just play the field position game.
And remember, Kevin Boone Nelson muffed the punt inside his own 20 at the end of the first half. He awaits the kick from Duran. Clean catch this time. Boone Nelson on the return gets drilled. A 4-yard return after the 42-yard punt. Braden Alls, starting safety down there covering the punt.
Yeah, you're going to start to see a lot of guys, a lot of starters on special teams throughout college football. Braden Alls, 6 foot, 196 pounds, man. I think he's going to end up playing on Sundays too at some point. He at least get a shot at camp, but you need guys like that on special teams.
How do you operate with Brock Lowry right now, Marcus, if you're calling this Western Michigan offense?
I think you go quick game, short pass, a little bit of quarterback run by design, and maybe some triple option elements.
Lolo Montaelli with a nice run on 1st down, picking up 4. And listen, it's only 10-0. It just feels like it's so much more considering what Western Michigan has shown offensively or not shown to this point.
Yeah, especially since this quarter has started. It's only been 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes gone by. But at the same time, you just know Toledo just feels like they have the momentum. And really, before the half, it looked like Western Michigan was the team that was on the move. As you see the yards per play.
Lowry swings it. Montaelli hit immediately. Kavion Sherman, Toledo's leading tackler, was waiting for him. Really the surprise of this Toledo defense here in the early part of the season.
Yeah, they said he's been the defensive MVP, last week in their big win, but he's very productive. 9 tackles, a sack, 4 tackles for loss. He's long and athletic, 6'2", 236. And you just saw his ability to make a tackle in space on a pretty good running back.
3rd and 6. They protect Lowry well, and he connects with Cade Conley. Ball is out, and Toledo has recovered. Conley fumbled it. Fuller recovers it. It's his second takeaway to go with the interception from the first half.
Western Michigan entered this game with only one turnover. One. They turned it over several times today so far, 3 times to be exact. But this is why you run to the football, and this is unfortunate because they would have had a first down, as you see Brock going through his progressions, get the catch there across the middle. But then you look up and the ball gets punched out.
And it was Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. We just highlighted him a moment ago.
That's right.
So the 3rd turnover of the day by Western Michigan. Toledo starts from the 25. Christian, a hurdle. Just to make it close to the line of scrimmage. He ends up losing a yard.
Christian is athletic as all get out, man, and they try to run that tackle counter again. That time defensive end, big fella right there, McGraw, he held the point, stretched that ball. Big guys flying around. That's a nice job by the big fella, 99.
Gleason dumps it. Christian. And nice work after the catch by Christian. He's got a first down inside the 15. Gain of 12.
And that snag concept to the boundary, you see that a lot where the running back goes out to the flats. The outside receiver runs a little spot route, and tight end takes a corner route. A nice play there. It's designed to beat man and zone coverage, and I really like that look to the boundary.
Now Toledo right back in the red zone, and it's right back in the hands of Kenji Christian. Down to the 12. A couple of yards there.
Toledo's not going to abandon that run game, though. I mean, they have thunder and lightning at running back. They're in control of this game. I thought time of possession was going to play a factor today, too, a little bit as we went through our notes. And some thoughts for the game, and I just feel like Toledo now has the momentum. They've lived in this area of the field, and if they don't turn it over, this game could be a lot more lopsided.
Chip Trainum returns. And Trainum cut down after a gain of 3. It's 3rd down. Now, Toledo's been in the red zone 3 times today. It's resulted in a field goal, an interception, and an interception. Trying to convert here, 3rd and 5.
I think if you're Jason Candle, you can do what you want here. You can run the football or you spread them out and hit a nice little quick short pass, expecting man-to-man coverage. That's why you see the 3 receivers bunched up, so they can run rub routes just in case it's man coverage.
Gleason looked that way, back the other side for Trainum, who got bumped, and it's incomplete. John Peters was covering Trainum. 4th down, and Toledo trots out the field goal unit.
You know, one thing is interesting when you show improvement, like something Western wanted to do defensively, is limit the explosives, right? So they did today. But the one that they gave up just may be the one you just said, Take a look at Dillon trying to knock this one in.
Now, Cunanan hit from 30 in the first half. This from 27. And no problem at all for the sophomore.
Timeout.
13-0 Toledo, as the Rockets do come up with points after the Western Michigan turnover. Now a 13-0 lead for Toledo here in the MAC opener in Kalamazoo. Ted Emmerich, Marcus Ray, our entire crew. And for what it's worth, both Brady Jones and Brock Lowry were throwing passes, staying warm during the timeout. The question, Marcus, you brought it up near the end of the first half. Do you consider turning to more of your pocket passer, Brady Jones, as Toledo adds to its lead?
I think so. I mean, they have been rotating all season, and then I think they were trying to get it figured out after the non-conference schedule was over. They settled in on their guy, but the beautiful thing about it is they've both taken enough snaps that if one's, it doesn't matter if you're a starter or not, you have to find a way. Just like Brock got the job because Brady didn't put up enough points, it can go right back the other way.
And listen, the offense absolutely moved better those first 3 games when Lowry was in. And today, you see the number at the bottom of your screen for Western Michigan. That's all that matters. It is Brock Lowry coming out with the offense to start this drive. And Lance Taylor seemed to be pretty definitive with us last night. They told the quarterbacks on Monday, we're going with Brock. They didn't make a grand announcement to the team, but they told the QBs, and that's how they practiced the entire week, was with Brock Lowry as the starter. And Jalen Buckley carries for a couple. I mean, you'd rather not be in the position if you're Walt Bell, the offensive coordinator, Lance Taylor, the head coach, back and forth and back and forth. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. You've said it. We've all said it. But it's just a tough situation right now because they're still trying to figure things out.
Yeah, they are. And you could tell on the call he was a little frustrated. But, you know, when you go back to their first game, they had 5 explosives against Michigan State. Like, it's there. It's in their system and in their scheme. They just have to get to it.
Lowry keeps, and Lowry going nowhere. It'll be 3rd and 8. Avery Dunn there defensively for Toledo.
They had that scouted very well. You saw McNeil Warren, the safety 7. We showed you him earlier. Man, did he come up and run support there. So if quarterback run is a part of why Brock's in there, then that's what you're going to see, like you saw in that play right there. But now in an obvious passing situation, you have to be able to push it downfield.
And Lowry is wrapped up, sacked. Malachi Davis has lived in the backfield today.
Big Daddy Davis got that sack right before the half. And I tell you what, he was gesturing to the sideline. He's playing with his hair on fire. Nice twist and stun up front, confused that pass pro. Lance Taylor told us part of the reason Brady may have struggled, Brady Jones that is, the former starter, is that pass protection. Offensive line probably didn't help him as much, and they're not helping Brock either.
Hammer on the return. Steps out of a tackle. Boy, Hammer dynamic in the return game. Takes it to midfield, a 37-yard punt and a 6-yard return. Yeah, Davis with a couple of sacks now. That Toledo defense rising to the occasion. They force another 3 and out. And boy, the Rockets have outstanding field position.
Yeah, and if you look at this as a heavyweight fight, those body blows in the first half that Toledo was throwing, they're starting to add up now. You're starting to see a battle of attrition, a little bit of wear down going with Western Michigan, slowly but surely.
Gleason pulls it and finds Van der Oss. Van der Oss trying to stay upright, and he gets sandwiched close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the longer that play takes to develop, the more time the defense will get there. So that was nice pursuit by Western Michigan. But you saw Van der Oss was trying to get out of there, man, but sometimes you just want to go down. You see the young fella, the little shimmy shake.
He says, I got some more moves for you next time I get it. First team All-MAC a year ago. Pitch to Christian. And Christian is wrapped up by Micah Davis. the Michigan transfer, former walk-on with the Wolverines. He was on the national championship team in 23.
One injury to a player on defense.
And another Western Michigan player is down on defense. This time, it's Sefa Saipaia, who has stepped right in. Won a national title, 2 of them, in fact, at Ferris State, about 100 miles to the north. From Division II to the FBS. What a great player he's been early this season. Hopefully he's okay.
See the big fella's stat sheet there, career numbers. And this guy here, man, he's a great football player. He's been a great addition to that locker room and added to the culture of what Lance Taylor wants to bring to here in Kalamazoo. Made a lot of plays too, man. He's been very active. It's good to see him bouncing around. I wish I could grow my hair out like that.
I'm right there with you.
You know.
Yeah, Chris O'Leary, the defensive coordinator, said he just plays the game with such joy. We love having him. But he's off the field here on 3rd and 9 for Toledo. Gleason stepping up. Now trying to find Trainum in the flat. It's incomplete.
That's good coverage downfield there by the Broncos. I'll tell you right now, they needed that stop. It's right at midfield. You don't want to get too far behind on the scorecards here late in the 3rd quarter, but that man right there, Dane Tucker. I talked to about 3 scouts about him 2 weeks ago, and they said, yep, he's going to be in someone's camp, buddy.
Fair catch by Kevin Boone Nelson at the 10. So Western Michigan pinned deep yet again. Broncos did just force their first 3 and out by Toledo today. But can they muster anything offensively? That is the question now.
And as a defense, I mean, you can only hold up for so long. And if you do give up 1 explosive, cool. All right, you just don't want to give up 8 or 5. But if you want to play complementary football, which means offense feeds off defense, off of special teams, this offense at some point is going to have to give them something.
Devin Miles, the back to start the drive, over the top to Williams. There's the explosive play across the 30-yard line and out of bounds. Give him 24.
I like this play by design. You get the motion to start it off, a little misdirection. Play action has been same side play action too, and it looks like he was going to go across and end up running that corner route, that flood concept, 3-level flood. Low, middle, high. That was a great read there by the quarterback, Brock.
Now from the 34, all the sweep with Christian Leary. And Leary down the boundary. Knocked out of bounds at the 49 of Toledo. 17 more yards.
Yeah, a little misdirection, man. A little. Watch him show the inside handoff, and it looked like it was about to be a busted play, and then you just like that, underneath. That's considered a pass play too, buddy. That was a nice design play, and there's nothing wrong with running this stuff. Run your stuff. Do what you have to do to get on the board. Walt, I see you. That's 2 good calls, man.
Getting creative here near the end of the 3rd quarter.
I didn't mean it like that.
Now the give to Miles, who's chopped down after a gain of 2. Yeah, be watching if Jalen Buckley gets in on this drive. Remember, he's been shaken up a couple of times in this game.
Yeah, he was a little under the weather last week, too. That's why, you didn't really see him. So it's like he may still be feeling the effects of that, too. So, you have the flu and things like that. It takes a while to get your body back. But they've got a deep running back room, but Buckley definitely, I think his presence is being missed.
More play action. And another deep shot for Williams. Flag is down. The pass is incomplete as Andre Fuller was covering Talik Williams. And the flag wasn't even thrown where the pass was. It was thrown with the ball still in the air.
Well, one of the things they're doing, too, because they had some problems with the pass protection, is they're keeping more guys in. Max protect.
Pass interference, defense, number 3, 15-yard penalty. First down.
It's on Fuller, who was trying to keep up with Williams.
Yeah, right here at the bottom of your screen, going to the right. At that point, he grabbed his shoulder.
Correction. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
And it's interesting because I didn't think he was beat enough to have to grab.
Yeah. The panic can still set in. Unfortunately, if you're a DB, you know it well. That's the key. I mean, you were an All-American.
Yeah.
You knew how to keep your composure in a situation like that. Blitz off the edge. Lowry takes a shot and a leaping grab by Blake Bosma, the tight end. His first catch today. And Western Michigan's inside the 15 with a gain of 24.
Big fella on this seam route here, right to the right of your screen. It's a good read. Oh, he could have had a little hands to the face there versus Brock Lowry. But I tell you what, to go up, he's a secret silent weapon in this offense. I mean, he came into the game with 6 catches, 49 yards. But at the same time, he is a weapon, and he can work those hashes and match up with any linebacker.
So Western Michigan inside the red zone. Lowry dumps it right back to Bosma. And he's inside the 10-yard line. Bosma, the native of Holland, Michigan, about 60 miles to the north. He gains 5 here. And by the way, Jalen Buckley is on the field. A good sign for the Broncos. Remember, he was slow to get up a couple of times earlier in the game, and Toledo has held him in check so far. They load up the right side, trying to clear the way for Buckley, who picks up maybe a yard.
That's a nice job there by that offensive line getting a push. They still can get a first down here. I actually think it's 4-down territory myself, so I'm trying to get 3 or 4 or 2 on this one because you just haven't had these type of drives all night. You got to get points while you can.
On 3rd and 4. Lowry keeps it. Lowry eyeing the pylon. And Lowry is in for the touchdown. That's why he's the starter. Brock Lowry flashing the wheels at last. And Western Michigan's on the board.
By design, that play is play action, but it's really quarterback run too. It's almost like triple option RPO to the boundary, short side of the field. They really love his athleticism. Coach told us about how he wanted to go live in a scrimmage just so he could compete for the job and show the coaches and his team that he wants to run the ball. He doesn't want no red shirt. He wants contact. Good play right there.
And Palmer Domski with a doink-ski on the extra point. Oh my goodness. He was the MAC Special Teams Player of the Week a couple of weeks ago here against North Texas. And he misses the extra point.
That actually changes things. I mean, that's very interesting. But as you go back to the touchdown, watch the play action. Heavy run look there. It's like a glorified naked bootleg for that quarterback, but it gave the feel that he could throw downfield, but I think that was a run the whole time. Nice job there by Lowry. Picked up a good block on the edge. Baylor Brooks.
Yeah, Marcus, you touched on it. It was the night before Western Michigan's final scrimmage. And Brock Lowry in that even quarterback competition with Brady Jones. You get another look at the extra point here by Domski. And doink. Yeah. So, night before the scrimmage, Brock Lowry says, I need contact. I have to show you what I can do. Yeah, like you said, go live means the quarterback can be tackled. There's no other team in America that probably had a scrimmage in August where the quarterback was live, and yet Lance Taylor agreed to it. And he was running over linebackers in that scrimmage. They still went with Brady Jones because they felt like he was the more consistent player through camp. But Brock Lowry has continued to improve. And yes, he's raw as a passer, but he opens things up offensively for Western Michigan.
Yeah, he does. And I think he's trying to make some good decisions with the ball. You saw the seam pass to Bosma to set up that score. And they came out, opened it up a little bit more offensively.
So a 13-6 Toledo lead. Final minute of the third quarter. Trainum trying to cut it back. He's swallowed up. Nadane Tucker. That's a loss of 3.
Big boy McGraw, he's getting in there too, mixing it up, man. He's having a good day himself. Tough to run that wide zone when that defensive end holds the point, doesn't let the ball outside of the defense.
Now Toledo does have to snap it one more time here in the third. There may be some confusion here. Oh, the play clock has run out, and the flag is out. I wonder if Tucker Gleason didn't realize that he had to snap it.
Timeout. Toledo.
So
Their first charge timeout of the second half.
Yeah,
This
so
will be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, so the flag was out, but they do grant the timeout just in
Game
time.
clock operator, please reset the game clock to 3 seconds.
Yeah, and you hate to burn a timeout in that situation. This poor clock management or just not being on the same page.
Thank you.
Obviously,
you're welcome.
Jason Kendall actually realized it. You see, he has a lot to say to a lot of people in that huddle. He didn't like that at all.
Now, Kendall became Toledo's all-time winningest coach a couple of weeks ago, passing Gary Pinkel. High hopes this year, certainly. There's a reason the coaches in the MAC picked Toledo to win the league. They're in a fight today here in Kalamazoo to open up conference play. Final play of the third. And Trainum picks his way close to the 25. It'll be third down and 11 when we start the fourth. Now put the 4 fingers in the air. 13-6 Toledo in front here in the MAC opener
of the third quarter.
For Toledo as we start the fourth quarter. Ted Emmerich, Marcus Ray, our entire crew. Tucker Gleason. Flushed out. Tipped in the air and incomplete. Off the hands of Jacob Peterson, his tight end. And Western Michigan comes up with a stop to open up the fourth.
Man, watch Dane Tucker, number 11, man. He just comes off that edge. He's hard to block. Give Cole Rett some credit. Right there could have easily been a holding penalty. They didn't call it. But I tell you what, that was a dangerous throw. And a lot of times when you see turnovers, it's due to tips and overthrows. And that was almost one.
So another 3 and out, back-to-back now for this Toledo offense. And Kevin Boone Nelson brings in the punt. And it traveled 42 yards off the foot of Emilio Duran. Well, Western Michigan put together by far their best drive. It's not even close. They ended up with points, ended up with the touchdown by Brock Lowry. Now can they build on that down a score?
Well, they showed some signs of being able to open it up, and I think that's why they were able to score. I mean, you can't just line up, hand it off, be vanilla the entire rest of the way. You got to find another way to get some points and get to some field position, and I like how they opened it up.
Yeah, Marcus, they've run it 23 times for 38 yards today. Lowry runs it here. And Brock Lowry churns across the 40. Gain of 7 on first down.
100% quarterback run. Call that a lead play when the back is the ISO blocker for the quarterback. Hey, he's not sliding. Take a look at his numbers. I mean, 13 to 22, 144 with the pick. He's done some things with his legs, too.
Brady Jones started the first 3 games of the season. Brock Lowry played a bunch, and he earned the job on Monday. Lowry with the first down, a crushing hit, but Brock Lowry was able to brace himself. He picks up 5.
A little bootleg action there on 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends. It's good coverage there. He eyes downfield. Right there, he protected the football. Apollonia came in there with the smack. Brock held on to it, but he definitely covered that football up. He braced himself for that hit for sure.
Previous play is under further review for possible targeting.
Oh, man. Now, it's not like Lowry is sliding here. We'll take another look.
It's going to be interesting to see, especially from this angle. Let's see. He kind of led with the head and shoulder a little bit.
Yeah, again, but, you know, Brock Lowry is a runner here, not a defenseless player. So we're talking about only crown of the helmet in this case for the Toledo defensive player.
I think if he would have wrapped up.
And then that would be it from Apollonia.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the key. You're talking about that area right on the top of the helmet. That
from that last angle, man, I think he did the helmet. It was helmet to helmet for sure. He led with the helmet.
I just don't know if there is enough to apply it here.
Yeah.
Again, clear and obvious. That's what's in the rule book. And because Lowry, it's not like Lowry's sliding.
After review,
here we go.
There is no targeting foul on the play.
Yes, there's helmet-to-helmet contact, but that doesn't equal targeting in this case.
Right. There's a targeting criteria: forcible contact, head, neck, of defenseless, forcible hit by helmet crown.
And I don't think he got him with the crown. Based on a number of angles that we got, don't believe there was enough. So Apollonia stays out there, which is big for Toledo. Play action for Lowry. And he throws it away. Again, Malachi Davis bearing down on him.
Those 2-man deep route concepts are hard to execute if the defense doesn't bite on the play action. It's good eye discipline on the back end by Toledo.
Buckley has stood up. Boy, you almost wonder if Lowry should have kept it there. It's a loss of 2.
Let's go, Toledo! Let's go, Rockets!
Martez Pointer didn't play last week with an injury. Was right there to meet Jalen Buckley.
Yeah, the big fella, man. You know, I really like him on that interior. Plays with his hands, got a good first step. 6'4", 290. Checks a lot of boxes, man. He caused a fumble a couple weeks ago.
Now it's 3rd and 12. Lowry to the sideline, batted down by Avery Smith. Smith was glued to Avion Chenault.
One of the things you're seeing from this secondary from Toledo is that they get their hands on the football, and there's not a lot of separation. And I think this is the one part in their pass game where they like Lowry in the run game. He does some good things, but they want that ball right there. They need that to be completed. That's on the receiver and the quarterback.
Milmore punts it. And a fair catch by Bryson Hammer.
Timeout.
Just past the 15.
Media.
Timeout. Toledo's got it back. Up a score.
Hey, everything's on the menu nowadays, man. I tell you, it's just, and it's fun to see it. People think those coaches don't have personality. They do, man.
Toledo takes over from their own 18, trying to deliver an F5 or an attitude adjustment to Western Michigan here in the fourth quarter, up a touchdown. And Chip Trainum picks up 4 yards on first down. Just get the feeling, it's Chip Trainum time right now. He's up to 21 carries for 142 yards and that big touchdown to start the second half.
Yeah, what Toledo needs to do is knock off about 6 or 7 minutes and try to find a way to get some points. If not, then you still flip the field. Then you make it really hard on an offense that really hasn't been very explosive.
Gleason delivers complete. It's Crosby. A first down across the 35. And Gleason has had a rough day. That was a nice throw on the move for 16.
Yeah, that's a nice catch there by Crosby. And Gleason kept his eyes downfield, extended the play, got outside the pocket there. You'll see you don't want to lose contain. But they lost contain, and that's what bought him a half a second. This gives an opportunity for a turnover right there. You see young fella Franklin tried to knock the ball out.
Trainum cuts it back and picks up 3. Yeah, so I mentioned it in the first half, Marcus. Yeah, of course, Chip's not his given name. It's Diamante, goes by Chip. The nickname comes from his youth football days. A coach called him Blue Chip, and it was eventually just shortened to Chip.
I like Akron, Hoban's finest. Young man's been in college a long time, man. Look at the numbers. That's his average coming into the game, was about 6.5.
Gleason pulls it. Got out of the grasp of Tucker, and Gleason tumbles to the 47. Nice gain on the play. Could have been dropped behind the line.
Every now and then you have to show them that, to test the defense to see if they're disciplined. Because quarterbacks don't always pull that, and you wouldn't expect that from Gleason too often. That time there, he pulled that. Everyone had eyes on Trainum.
Third down's been an issue since halftime for Toledo. They need a yard, and Trainum gives them more than that into Western Michigan territory.
Ground and pound. That's what Toledo wanted to do coming in here. And this was a heavyweight street fight. And it's getting extremely physical in between those tackles. That's a good tackle there.
Yeah, that was a big hit by Jaden Davis. Now a fresh set of downs with 9.5 to go. Gleason is dumped. A huge loss on the play. Ball might be out. Got to unpeel everybody from that pile. It was recovered by Toledo. Connor Jones, the tight end, got on top of it. It's a loss of 16.
Yeah, watch Kershawn Fisher, 20, coming from the right of your screen, using that good hand work, as you call it. That ball's coming out. That's a fumble.
Boy, I think that ball did come out, but in any event, Connor Jones did recover it for Toledo.
Let's see if it comes out right there. Yeah, it comes out. That's a good camera angle.
And so second and forever, 27 to be exact. Train him up to the 40-yard line with a gain of 6.
That's one way to get your defense going, to get some field position for your offense, is to try to create a turnover, get a sack, strip.
Now 3rd and long, and Gleason wires it to midfield, well short of the line to gain. Jacob Peterson hauls it in for 11 yards, and it's 4th down. So Toledo has to punt again. I mean, you can't say enough about this Western Michigan defense today.
No, I think they've done a fine job. I mean, Trainum's having his way, but for the most part, the Toledo offense was very explosive coming in. #1 in the conference in scoring, offense, total yards, and all the above. But at the same time, Western has held their own, being that they come here giving up 33, 31 points a game.
Now, Toledo, one of 32 teams in the FBS, scoring 40 a game the first 3 weeks, and being limited so far. Kevin Boone Nelson got to pass the 15, so 7.5 to go.
Timeout.
Western Michigan's offense has shown some life with Brock Lowry. Can they deliver now? Down a touchdown. Action rolls on to week 5 next week. And Marcus, you will be in Mount Pleasant for the start of the Michigan MAC Trophy Series this year, Eastern Michigan and Central Michigan.
I'll tell you, those are going to be some competitive games, man. Yeah, Eastern Michigan playing better football. Central Michigan bouncing back from the loss to Michigan. And you see Northern Illinois there, over there duking it out with Mississippi State. So I think that's a good lineup, man. Miami lost a close one to UNLV. Scored a lot of points, you know,
yeah.
So those games can go either way. And that's why styles make fights. And even this game, people had Toledo, oh, they're going to run away with it. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Because these are 2 good football teams, and it doesn't matter what the record says.
Before we get to week 5, the only MAC game of the day here in week 4. Western Michigan down a touchdown. And starting with Jalen Buckley shrugging off defenders. And Buckley's up to the 25. Gain of 8.
That's a good run on that outside zone play. He picked up some great block. I like that formation, too, with those tight ends and that diamond look. You get a lot of misdirection as you see what's happened so far. Total offense and the points and what's been going on. So Toledo's lived in on the other side of the 50. That's what jumps out.
It was a 3-0 Toledo lead at the half. Lowry snaking for the first down to the 30-yard line and 5 yards. I mean, Western Michigan has scored 4 touchdowns in 4 games this year, 4 total. Brock Lowry has accounted for all 4 of them. And now he's trying to come through in the biggest moment yet.
Yeah, I think this drive here, man, is very key. That was a good design quarterback run. They have to stay out of long yardage, though.
Lowry stepping up, hit as he threw it, and it's dropped by Chenault. The true freshman who the coaches rave about could not reel it in.
Well, the ball hit him in a bad spot, Ted, right in the hands. And you have to make that catch, especially when you're one of their favorite targets and top receivers, Avion Chenault. He just didn't look at him. Ran a good route. Just couldn't hold on to it.
And Eshawn Carter had the pressure. This time, Chenault brings it in, and he steps out of bounds at the 36.
I like that. They went right back to him.
Yeah.
Make sure that, you know, you're still our guy, make the play. And I think they're starting to see some soft coverage on that side of the field there by Avery Smith.
3rd and 3 for Western Michigan. Lowry behind Chenault, incomplete, but multiple flags. 4 of them. Braden Alls was in coverage. He's saying, me? Really? Boy, the other question here, was that pass tipped? There's also a Western Michigan player down. Let's take a look.
It was close to being tipped right there, but it wasn't tipped. Ball was behind him. Clearly dropped the ball. It's unfortunate because Braden Alls is one of those guys.
Personal foul, late hit with targeting. Defense, number 6, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, 1st down. Previous play is on the review.
Now, of course, he'll take a closer look at it, but yeah, it's after the play here. Braden Alls, keep an eye left side of your picture, coming in against Chenault. And in that case, Marcus, you are talking about a defenseless player. So what you're looking for is that indicator. Is there a launch? Looks like it. Then forcible contact to the head or neck area. You're not talking about just the crown of the helmet. What do you see?
Well, I see he used his shoulder, and there was no helmet contact there, but I just think it was more of a late hit personal foul.
And it doesn't have to be helmet-to-helmet contact.
Correct.
Here, again, just with the elbow, the forearm, is there forcible contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent? I mean, listen,
like
you played the position. You certainly have your thoughts on it.
Yeah, 30 years ago, they wouldn't have called. I mean, they would have called a late hit, but there was no such thing as targeting. So,
Right.
you know what I mean? So it's like one of those things where that wasn't as bang-bang as Alls is trying to make it look. It's like, you know, the unfortunate part is the ball was thrown behind Chenault, and when Braden broke on that ball, you almost couldn't tell if he still had it or not for a hot second.
And it's so tough.
After further
here we
review,
go. Here's the call.
The ruling on the field of targeting is overturned. There is no targeting foul. We will enforce a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, 1st and 10.
So that late hit stands, like you're talking about, that will still be enforced here.
Yeah.
But the good news for Toledo, no targeting, and that's big because, of course, Toledo has another MAC game next week, and Braden Alls would have had to sit out the first half next week against Akron if that was targeting.
Yeah, and I think they're just going to call it and look at it. I mean, and I think that's the right move. I didn't think it was that egregious or the targeting department, but it definitely was a personal foul.
So Western Michigan, with the penalty, has a 1st down at the Toledo 48. Under 6 to play. Down a touchdown here in the conference opener against the preseason pick to win the league, Toledo. Lowry carries it down to the 41. 7 more yards for the quarterback.
Yeah, I think they like that play where you spread them out a little bit. Fake the run, but the running back is actually the lead blocker, and you have to add one more defender in the box, or if you don't, it's going to go for 6, 7, 8 yards.
Monteelli's the back. He throws the block for Lowry, who's got a first down inside the 35. 8 yards this time.
Oh, Walt Bell dialing it up, man. You know, he had that iron jaw when we was on that call where he just wanted to get after it. Didn't want to say too much. He was just, and you know, but he got something cooking with that single wing quarterback run.
Now Lowry connects with Williams. Down to the 26, a gain of 7. Boy, Western Michigan is clicking now.
Yeah, they're basically going with the pre-snap short game pass to the boundary, the short side of the field, or the quarterback run. If Toledo's going to keep 2 safeties high like that, and nobody accounts for the quarterback, then they have 1 more in the box.
Buckley back on the field. Buckley backing his way to the 24. Gain of a couple, 3rd and short.
Western Michigan actually, you know, the way they're built offensively, they have a big offensive line. They got some youth up there, but so you don't want to get into too much drop back. They've done better on 3rd down too, as you see.
And Lowry muscles ahead for the first down. The Broncos are in the red zone with under 4 minutes to play.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the offense. First down.
Boy, Lowry lost it at the end, but Western Michigan keeps possession. Let's see here.
Ooh, that's a good collision right there. See if that ball comes out on the way down.
Oh, the peanut punch at the end.
Oh, that's becoming a trend.
Yes.
Trend there, buddy.
That was Braden Alls who punched it out. Western Michigan recovered. Lowry on first down. Oh, he got smacked. Kavion Sherman just clocked him. Martez Pointer there as well. Loss of 4.
If a quarterback isn't going to slide and not give him his body up, then he's just like any other person with the football. That's good coverage. They weren't fooled by the play action there, and the pocket collapsed. They had a quarterback spy on, and they just swarmed to the football.
So the Broncos behind the sticks now with 3 to play. Lowry trying to keep his balance. He slithers ahead to the 16, a gain of 8 to set up a better 3rd down situation.
The Q run, man, old school single wing, lets the quarterback go. Because it's really a glorified situation, glorified Wildcat situation with, based on what Brock Lowry can do with the football in his hand and with his leg, and he's tougher than nails. He's taking a licking and kept on ticking. I see you, Walt.
Lowry's carried it 16 times for 45 yards. 2 plays here for a first down. They take the shot to the end zone. For Chenault, it's incomplete. No flag. Avery Smith says, I
think Avery Smith knew that was coming, that the shot ball was coming. He had great coverage there, got inside leverage. I don't know about that grab at the end there, but he was in phase. And he has just as much right to that football as Chenault.
You think the flag should have been thrown?
No. No, sir.
That is definitely a DB talking. Go ask a Western Michigan fan right outside the booth. But now it's 4th and 7 with 2:16 to go. And a timeout.
Timeout, Western Michigan. That is their first charge timeout of the second half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
We'll step aside.
Timeout. Media.
Feels like the game is at stake after this. It's been a cage match here in Kalamazoo, and Western Michigan now faces 4th and 7 with 2:16 to go. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the man on our screen, Blake Bosma, to possibly be the #1 option on this. He'll be inside at the tight end position, but he's flexed out. I think he's going to work some type of mid-level route right behind the linebackers in between the hashes.
On 4th and 7, Lowry steps up to the end zone and off his receiver's hands, incomplete. Balin Brooks was covered by Andre Fuller. And the Broncos turn it over on downs.
Yeah, right there you got the double post with the wheel. That's what that's called when the inside guy runs the deep. And that was just a nice job of Toledo passing off those routes. Bosma was designed, if you see, McNeil Warren was out of the middle because of Bosma, which opened up that lane. That ball was catchable. But the one thing about Toledo's defensive backs that I've really been impressed with, they get their hands on the football. They're knocking balls down. They're in phase. They haven't been perfect, no. Have they had some penalties in there? Yeah, but at the same time, they are stuck like glue to these receivers.
Andre Fuller on one side, Avery Smith on the other. They have both had huge days, just like Chip Trainum has had a huge day offensively. He stopped at the line of scrimmage, and we hit the 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Western Michigan does have 2 timeouts remaining, but time is running out here in Kalamazoo.
ESPN.
2 minutes to go in Kalamazoo in the MAC opener. Jason Candle's team up 13-6 here against Western Michigan and trying to put this game to bed. 2nd and 10. Back to Trainum. And Western Michigan there to wait for him. Tate Halleck meeting him in the hole. Loss of a couple.
Western Michigan, that is a second charge timeout of the second half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And so the Broncos have 1 remaining here. 3rd and 12 now for Toledo.
Well, Toledo wants to try to get out of here with a situation where they don't lose too many yards so they could possibly punt the ball. I don't think they're going to throw it here. They may. But at the same time, you want Western Michigan to burn all of those timeouts.
Oh, we take a trip around the MAC here today. And what a game earlier on ESPNU. Miami of Ohio in a fun non-conference matchup against Dan Mullen and UNLV. And UNLV comes up with a 41-38 win in a shootout.
Yeah, Ball State was still trying to claw it out. Northern actually had the lead at Mississippi State. At one point, Eastern Michigan playing a little better offensively. It'll be interesting, man. Look at Gardner Webb gave Ohio a little smoke, huh?
Yeah. Ohio beat West Virginia a couple of weeks back. 3rd and 12. Gleason will throw, or will he? Doesn't want to step out of bounds, does he? Is he taken down inbounds? Of course, well short of the first down marker. And like you said, Marcus, they'd love Western Michigan to have to burn that final timeout. He's out of bounds, 1:46 to go.
Yeah, I don't know here. Gleason has to, well, even an incomplete pass. I think he tried to stay in bounds, but he stepped out. He tried to stay in bounds, though. So you see he didn't want to throw the ball to stop the clock either.
Man, the clock did stop at 1:46, so injecting just a little more life into Western Michigan here as Duran sends it away. And the fair catch by Boone Nelson in Toledo territory. Just a 31-yard punt by Duran. So Western Michigan still has a chance. 1:40 to go and 1 timeout left.
With great field position. I know Jason Candle did not like that series offensively or special teams. Put their defense in a predicament. That is an eternity. 1:40 on the clock and 1 timeout from right there.
This is a moment that Brock Lowry probably dreamed of growing up in Canfield, Ohio. Former three-star recruit, started his career at Indiana, making his first career start today. Eluding the rush, and Lowry throws it away to start this drive.
Good coverage there by the Rockets defense. And if you're Toledo, this is what you want Brock to do. I mean, you want him to drop back and try to find someone. Pass rushers love it. Malachi Davis has a couple of sacks. Pointer's trying to get back there, so they got some guys, Sherman and Dunn. They're going to start sending these guys, but I noticed on that last one there was a quarterback spy.
On 2nd and 10, Lowry the sidearm and behind Chenault, incomplete. He was sped up there. That's 3rd and 10.
No one's open. And here's the thing. You have that much grass, sometimes you just settle down. Sit down. If it's zone coverage, you sit down. If it's man, you keep running. But I think Chenault had a chance to stop and catch that football.
Now 3rd and 10. Toledo brings pressure off the edge. And Lowry's pass is incomplete. Andre Fuller trying to close the door right there with his 2nd pick today.
That was a good call defensively by Vince Karras because he recognized in this formation. Oh, that was close. That was close. But I think he recognized when Western Michigan was going to sprint out. So it was a certain look of formation he saw that they just triggered it where the nickelback came and blitz to stop Brock from getting on the perimeter.
And now it's 4th and 10. And now truly the game hangs in the balance. Lowry fires. That's caught by Williams. Williams inside the 10. And he's hit by Fuller at the 5. A 43-yard strike. Western Michigan still alive.
His offensive line gave him some time, man. Did they do a great job there? Toledo got caught in that man coverage. You saw Nasir Bowers. Those guys were out of position there. That's a good throw and catch. Probably the best ball of the day from Brock Lowry.
On 1st and goal, it's Lowry. And he dives to the 2. Again, 1 timeout remaining for the Broncos.
I was a little surprised they didn't run the ball that last set of 4 downs.
A man down for Western Michigan.
Timeout. Toledo. That is a 2nd charge timeout of the 2nd half. This would be a 30-second timeout.
Wow, so Toledo on their heels and calling the timeout, and as Western Michigan has a man down. Looks like it's Zach Vaughn, who's playing a little more at tackle. You see Lowry, watch 73. And oh man, Luce Julian just came over the top of him.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 58 seconds. 5-8.
And so they add 6 seconds here.
Thank you.
No problem. But yeah, it's been Zach Vaughn and Adam Vandervest rotating a little more at left tackle. And the Wake Forest transfer, Vaughn, has to head out. Boy, you tell Lance Taylor before the game, you're going to be in this situation, final minute, you're on the doorstep, chance to tie the game. He'd take that all day based on all the struggles they had first 3 weeks of the season, not to mention the offensive struggles so far today.
Yeah, and he wanted his team to play 4-quarter football, and when you do that, you have a chance. As you take a look at Vince Karras, the D coordinator for Toledo. This is an interesting situation. I mean, do you go all out and sell out, try to get a hit in the backfield? But remember, Western still has that timeout. I would expect quarterback run or play action pass off of that.
Lowry keeps. Trying to get a block from Brescia to the pylon. That's a touchdown. Brock Lowry in the clutch. And Western Michigan is within a point.
Take a look here. That's a tough play to stop because it's really a run play, but he also could have threw the ball as well to Brescia. A lot of misdirection in there, man. Saw McNeil Warren trying to stop Lowry from turning that corner, but nevertheless, he got in there. And if I'm Western Michigan, I'm going for 2. I am. I wouldn't go to overtime.
I was just about to ask you, considering they lost in overtime to North Texas a couple of weeks ago, and just considering the tenor of this game.
Timeout, Western Michigan. That is their third and final charge timeout of the second half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, so the Broncos call that final timeout to talk about it some more. I'm with you. Why not just go for the win? I mean, the lead at the very least with 52 seconds to go in this situation.
Because I wouldn't put Trainum and those guys, Gleason. I'm not putting you back out there. You know what I would do if I'm looking at Walt? If I was on that headset, I would just say, run the same play.
And also remember, Palmer Domsky missed an extra point earlier in the half. That might also be part of the consideration.
That's exactly right. That's a great point. Special teams hasn't really done these Broncos any favors when you think about the drop punt, missed extra point. But right here, I take the momentum. I'm running my quarterback. This is a very interesting call right here. What are you going to do?
For the lead. Lowry on the move again. He is in for 2. It is Brock Lowry's world in Kalamazoo.
I don't want to say I was right, Ted, but that was the same exact play out of a different formation. That's the play. Got a little misdirection off the jet sweep. You get your lead blocker. You can give it to your quarterback with the hot hand with the misdirection. I was thinking run the same play. Because it works. And if they run it again, it'll work. Because watch, by design, that motion is designed to tell everybody what the coverage is. It's man-to-man. You got 2 guys chasing the same person. That was miscommunication on the back end. One more time, if we can see that. That was miscommunication by Toledo. You'll see 2 defensive backs running left with the motion. And one of them was supposed to stay home and account for Lowry. That was the same play he scored the touchdown on out of a different formation, and that's why, I don't know, Matt. Do you think Walt Bell was on this headset when I said run this?
Or were you calling plays?
Hey, I'll tell you. Because when
great minds think alike.
I'm telling you, man, and the way they scored off of it, it's like, I'm quite sure Lance Taylor said, let's run the same thing from a different formation.
Yeah.
And let's make them think. This time, send someone in motion.
Just a dream sequence for Brock Lowry. As difficult as it has been in his first career start, coming to life here in the second half. Still 50 seconds. And on the return, Trayvon Rudolph, former all-conference return man at Northern Illinois, tripped up just past the 30. Well, how did it look in the booth? Walt Bell calling that play, the 2-point conversion. All eyes to the end zone to their left.
I see it. Everybody's sitting there
just
waiting.
Dialed in. Would it work? Would it work? Fist pumps. Yes, it did work. And Western Michigan has the lead with 45 seconds remaining. Toledo does have 1 timeout left. And remember, the clock stops with first downs. Here are the final 2 minutes. Gleason is ripped down. Ball comes out. Looks like it was recovered by Anthony Boswell, the center.
That was a great job of pursuing the quarterback. By that defensive line, they rushed upfield, collapsed that pocket.
Timeout, Toledo. That is their third and final charge timeout of the second half. This will be a 13-second timeout. Game clock operator, Please set the game clock to 36 seconds. 3-6.
So they add 2 seconds here.
Thank you.
36 seconds to go for Toledo, the preseason favorite in the MAC. A team that's been a standard bearer in this league, opening up conference play on the road.
Toledo has elected to make this timeout a full timeout, 60-second timeout.
And now it's up to Chris O'Leary's defense to come through here in the final 36.
Yeah, I think Chris O'Leary did a fine job. He had a good game plan. He slowed down a high-powered offense. He kept that point total down so that the game was to be within reach and gave Walt Bell an opportunity, the offensive coordinator, to figure something out, whether it was quarterback run, naked bootleg, short passes. But if this game was lopsided, that man right there did a fine job of making sure it was only a 1 or 2 score game that was within reach.
A first-year defensive coordinator, always been a position coach, and O'Leary and his defense have authored a masterpiece so far today against this Toledo offense. Can they finish it off? Gleason completes it to Peterson, out of bounds, clock stops, 30 seconds at the 36-yard line. 3rd down.
Yeah, they're going to a version of a prevent defense. They're going to play awfully soft. Toledo needs to throw the ball to the sideline, stop the clock. Right now, Western's trying to take away anything vertical with a 3-high safety look.
Again, Toledo out of timeouts. Free rusher, and Gleason has to throw it away. Nadame Tucker breathing down his neck.
Yeah, there was a breakdown in pass protection there for Toledo. They didn't account for him off the edge. That's because they got guys standing up and moving around.
For what it's worth, the target line for Toledo would be the 37. Dylan Kunanen's career long is 54 yards, but it's 4th and 7. Gleason airs it out. Crosby, incomplete. Aaron Wofford got a hand on it for Western Michigan, and the Broncos slam the door here in the MAC opener.
Oh, it's going to be a party in Kalamazoo tonight, buddy. That was a big, big win. Tip the cap, though. Gleason trying to squeeze that one in there. That was almost a catch, too, if he didn't have to wait on that. If that wasn't underthrown, that might have been a touchdown. But nevertheless, Aaron Wofford did a fine job playing the ball, breaking it up. You'll see the best formation in football coming up next. It's called victory.
Toledo had won 17 consecutive MAC openers going back to 2007. But today belongs to Western Michigan. Yes, there really is a Kalamazoo. And yes, Western Michigan has its first win of the season under Lance Taylor. A hard-earned 14-13 victory over the preseason pick to win the MAC. Toledo.
Look at that first win. We're trailing at the half, man. 17 tries. Congratulations to Western Michigan. A hard fought. And you know what we saw, Ted, is everything Lance talked about on our calls, how his kids fought. Those players fought. They never stopped believing in each other. Tough opponent coming in there, red-hot Toledo. And you know, when you're 0-3, the sky's falling, and then there's another game.
I love the way you play the game.
After playing that rugged schedule the first 3 weeks, Lance Taylor just wanted to erase everything on the board, start over. He named his starter at quarterback in Brock Lowry after the competition continued from camp into the early part of the season. And when it mattered most, Brock Lowry moved that offense down the field, and Lowry's 2 rushing touchdowns and the 2-point conversion, plus the work of the defense. That's the difference.
Yeah, I think this was a complete team win, and the lower the score, the more Western Michigan, it was in their favor. And this was a street fight. And you know what? They went toe-to-toe with a pretty good Toledo team and came out on top, man. I just was impressed with the turnovers early in the red zone. I think that was the biggest key, is they got those 2 turnovers early. And I think it took some of the wind out of Toledo's sails offensively. Toledo's able to score 2 touchdowns, even 2 more field goals. It's been a different game.